Is your wife on her mobile phone way too much? Do you have this problem in your home? What can be done when your wife is constantly on the mobile phone? Today, we're going to workshop.
You've just been sitting on your phone. Let's just tell the truth here. You've just been sitting on your phone. We're actually having breakfast, and Mark's been sitting on his phone for about the last, I think, pretty much the whole of breakfast.
If you have this problem with your wife, try something like walking in the park, jogging around the block with her. Try turning off the devices and spending quality time with your partner.
Oh, you're funny.
At Novak, today, we're going to show you how to do that.
You're such a brat, Mark.
Morning.
Oh, good morning. Is that the start of Morning Minutes, is it?
That's
we're on.
Oh, do you want a proper start? Do you want the...
Yeah, let's do a proper start.
Proper start. Here you go. Ready?
I wasn't at all prepped and ready.
Proper start. Here you go.
What a start. What a start.
Where is everyone on Friday? Everyone has taken this day off.
Yep.
Not us. I want to be at work shortly.
Yeah.
But everyone's taken today off. They've joined it, double demerits.
Well, the double demerits speaks volumes, doesn't it? The fact that there's double demerits in place until Sunday tells you that everyone's taken an extra long weekend. And some schools are on holidays from Monday as well, so I think they've just tacked it all in, added it all on, and taken an extra long weekend.
And then
why not? Good luck.
And then we've got another one next week.
Yeah, we've got we do. We've got an October long weekend. But guys, what we want to do this morning is we want to talk with you about, well, it's Friday Frenzy, so Mark and I, we usually battle it out about stuff that's been going on during the week. Anything that's annoyed me about Mark, I'll air it here. And anything that I've done to annoy Mark, he'll air it here as well.
Real estate.
And then we also want to talk about the $0 marketing and what a disruption it's been in the industry.
Yep.
Who were the winners and who were the losers, I think, with the $0 marketing. So we're going to address that as well.
What is $0 marketing?
And what is $0 marketing exactly? So let's talk first about the week. How's your week, Mark?
Disrupted.
Yeah.
It
feels like Monday. Does feel like Monday.
It sort of feels like you're trying to squeeze in a Monday to a Saturday to 3 days, those 6 days into 3 days.
Yeah.
And then yesterday felt like a Sunday.
Oh, yeah, it's really, it absolutely, it's really mucked us around. But nevertheless, you know what I found was interesting yesterday was my phone still was ringing red hot. Lots of inquiries were coming through, lots of calls were coming through on my mobile. And no one was saying, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt your day off. No one says that anymore. No one says it.
It upset Lisa yesterday.
No, I wouldn't say it's upset me. It's just
upset you.
It's just interesting when people don't do that. When
you speak with someone on a Sunday that's not normally in that profession for a Sunday or a public holiday, it'd be nice to say, thanks for taking my call.
Oh, I can tell you, I took a phone call last Sunday. My phone rang, I think it was 6:45 a.m. on a Sunday. I answered the phone and there's no apology. So I don't know if I'd ring my mum. I definitely wouldn't ring my mum at 6:45 in the morning.
Weirdo.
Not without a very, very good reason.
Why did you take the call?
Because I'm a weirdo. Because I will. That's I don't know. It's just in the DNA. It's in the DNA.
Luke wants to know, are people selling this week?
Luke, there has been so many buyers out and about. It's incredible. We're seeing these low stock levels. So, and it's something that, I had actually addressed this a few months ago. If you go back through some of our social media where I talked about the David Jones half-yearly clearance sale, and I said, it's on, guys, be careful, because I feel like this is not going to stay this way forever. And now we're seeing the low stock levels, which is exactly what we had anticipated. And we're still seeing a huge amount of buyers. Some buyers saying, help, I've got to spend my finance. I've got this pre-approval and I've got to spend it.
if you, by the way, we're really rocked up this morning. If you're going out, don't dress like us. It's 16,
I've got like
17 degrees out there this morning.
It is warm, actually, yeah.
If you want to be in for Christmas, if you want to purchase a property, how long we got left?
I don't even know where we're at. Where are we? We're coming up toward the end of September.
October, November. You're almost cooked. So if you want to be in before Christmas, you've got probably a window of about 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
To buy something, if you want to make that dream come true.
Yep. But not only that, guys, I think we're going to have a late spring selling season. So usually we see a whole lot of stock coming on for spring. We're not seeing that at the moment. But I think once sellers realise property prices are actually they are stable and they are still quite strong, I think we're going to start to see a late spring selling season. That's my crystal ball prediction.
But if people can't buy and move in by Christmas, you're right, that late selling season, I think that's going to be really interesting, guys. So that low stock is really, really going to mash what's happening in the property market. And I was reading a fantastic article about what will happen in the marketplace if people decide unilaterally to slow down the property market and not buy. That could actually really push property prices up.
Yeah. Guys, let us know if you're having trouble hearing us as well. We are sitting in a cafe that's a little bit noisy, so just let us know if you're having some trouble hearing us with all the background noise. What are you looking at me like that? Oh,
I thought you were telling me to hurry up.
No, I'm telling you to speak up.
Oh, because Lisa often hits me on the leg or makes gestures with her hands, and she was like, "You're talking too slow. Hurry up." But
yeah.
No, you're saying. Okay.
No, I was saying speak up, not hurry up. Yeah, no, I would never hurry you along, Mark.
No, Lisa, no.
No, I would never do that. No wife ever hurries their husband along, ever.
Yeah.
So no, I would never do that to you.
Their husband.
Yeah, just say it. I don't know. Well, that I've never done, considering you're 6'4" and I'm about 5'4".
Yeah, little fella. Now let's talk about the core topic today, which is $0 marketing.
Yes.
First of all, I'll explain what it is because you won't give me a chance to speak after this. Can
I tell you, Mark's really, we have a very harmonious marriage until we get on here on Fridays.
This has been cheeky.
And Mark likes to just get very facetious. I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens. I think he gets excited, guys. I think that's what happens. I think he gets overly excited that we're doing this together.
We've started. So,
okay, I'm sitting back.
$0 marketing is an incredible product where most agents look for a high-intensity, pre-programmed, standardized $5,000 or $10,000 campaign to hit their client with, which we can do if you want. Or there's the $0 where we won't take a cent. We'll work really hard. We'll bring through plenty of buyers. We'll work with social media a lot. We'll generate some great offers on the table for you. At that point, you decide to sell and release the property. At that point, you go, nah, let's do some realestate.com, some domain, and plan B. Want to talk about that?
Yes. So the $0 marketing strategy was something that we came up with because we identified that there was two options for vendors in the market. One was what we consider off-market, which really means no formal public advertising. That's really what off-market means if you look up the definition of it. And then there was on-market, which was getting these vendors onto the expensive real estate portals. But there was actually nothing in the middle. There was a gap in our industry. And so vendors that came to us and said, you know what, I just want to see if I can get the price. I just want to dip my toes in and test the market.
But I don't want to burn $3,000, $5,000.
Well, it's more than $3,000. I mean, realestate.com alone is close to $3,000 now. Then you throw domain, and this is Northern Beaches prices. And then you throw domain into the mix. There's another $2,000.
Yep.
So we're already up to $5,000. Then you've got photography, floor plans, signboards. So you're starting to push upwards to about sort of $7,000 or $8,000. Now that's a lot of money to spend if you're just going to test the market, right? And there's a lot of vendors that are doing that at the moment, guys. If you have a good think about what's going on out in the market at the moment, vendors are saying, if I don't get the price, I'm not going to sell. And so the real estate industry says, okay, well, why don't you give us $8,000 to $10,000? We'll go test the market for you. And there is no refund on that amount.
Burn, baby, burn.
So the $0 marketing was an absolute no-brainer. And then we had this weapon called social media. And we've built up this following now over the last 4.5 years, a substantial following.
Like a news channel does.
Like your own TV channel. And we thought, you know what, if we can just get these properties out to our social media channels and build up the right types of followers, we reckon that we'll be able to actually sell property that way.
So just to confirm, you can't be an agent, any agent, throw it on Facebook and go to your vendor and say, oh yeah, I've saw it's on Facebook, I've put it on social media. You've got to have that following and that local network of buyers on there already.
Yeah, or your tribe. I mean, I call it your tribe, the people that tune into your channel, the right types of people. But in addition to that, guys, with that $0 marketing, it goes out to social media, so millions of eyeballs, the right eyeballs, plus out to database. Plus, we also include professional photography, and we include a signboard as well. That's all included.
So why has it been a disruptor?
It's been a disruptor, Mark, because first of all, it's been enormously successful for the seller. Enormously successful for the seller who says to us, I'm actually just about to sign up a property today. They interviewed 4 agents and no one was able to offer what we were able to offer. It's also been trialled and tested. We've done hundreds of them now. I've done, I think, 220 sales directly using the $0 marketing strategy. Now, I've only been in sales for 4 years, right? So 70% of the properties that I've sold have been used as a result of the $0 marketing. So no other agent can compete with this because no other agency has got the following that we have got now on our social media. So I can literally, you will see, I'm about to post a property today. I'm just waiting on the contract of sale and it'll go first out to my social media. And there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that I will start to get inquiry. I mean, you've witnessed it, Mark.
Like a poker machine.
When the property goes out onto my socials.
So why do people like to consume that way rather than, I'm talking buyers now, why do buyers like to consume that way rather than on a real estate portal?
Because they like the opportunity that they get to buy a property first before it launches out to a portal where everyone else is sitting, right? People want what no one else can have. And so we give them the opportunity to come and buy a property, buy a property first before it's launched out onto those real estate portals. I just want to make a really, really important statement. We are not here to save on marketing dollars and achieve a lower price. That is not the aim, guys. The aim is to give the seller and the buyer an opportunity that never existed before in the real estate industry. So for the seller, they get the opportunity to dip their toes in and test the market without having to spend any money. 70% of our properties are sold, not cheaply, for phenomenal prices using the $0 marketing strategy. That's number one. And number two, for the buyer, they get the opportunity to see and buy a property first before it launches out to the real estate portals.
Now, something about social media and real estate portals I do have to point out. One is proactive, one is reactive. And what I mean by that is you sort of expect, you're waiting for the consumer to go onto realestate.com to look for the property that you've put up, right? These guys are searching hundreds and hundreds of properties by the end of their campaign. They are very well heeled, they've sharpened their blade. You know, not sometimes the buyer I particularly want, I do want them, but maybe they're not the one that's going to pay the premium. On social media or other forms of marketing like that, I find that, you know, you're looking for something, you're basically on your social media 1, 2, 3 hours a day, depending who you are, and here comes up something of interest. I see it, I love it, I buy it. Often you don't shop to the lowest price when you do that, you just simply react and say, I like that, I can afford that, I'll buy that, that makes me happy. And that does happen, believe it or not, with every product in the world, even property. If it's convenient and it's under your nose and it's well matched, deal's done.
Yeah, so, you know, and look, here's the thing. Just put your buyer hat on for a sec, guys. You're a buyer and you are, sorry, I don't know what you're pointing to, Mark.
The red.
Oh, okay. You're a buyer and you are going onto realestate.com just like every other buyer. It can be quite a frustrating experience for you. Here's the flip side. You're a buyer and you're following my socials, or you know, one of our socials from Novak, and up pops a great raw video of a property, and we're going, yeah, guys, do you want to come through and see this property first before it launches out to the real estate portals? It's just so easy for the consumer, right? So think about the convenience for the vendor. Think about the convenience for the buyer. And as I said, not every single vendor wants to do the big ticket tape parade, wants to spend $10,000 on marketing, wants to do an auction style strategy. You know, if you ask the vendors what it is that they want, I can tell you now, they'll tell you a very different story. So that one size fits all strategy that most of the industry offers to the seller just doesn't work for every vendor.
Very standard, very boring,
right?
Effective.
It just doesn't work.
But not all the time.
So you've got to ask yourself, is that strategy more about you as an agent, or is that strategy about the vendor? Because if you ask the people what they want, often they'll tell you a very, very different story. As I said, I've smashed other agents' market listing presentations just on the fact that I said, is that what you want? Do you want to go to auction? And they'll say, no, that's not at all what I want. I just want to test the market. So just listen to what the people want, guys. It's
and sometimes it's okay, right? Your 4-week auction campaign, go hard, sure, but sometimes it's also okay just to dip your toe in the water and check the temperature. And if you're an agent that doesn't provide that in today's day and age of this customization with everything,
individualization, you've got to be all things to all people.
You're in trouble. So sometimes that customer just wants to talk to a couple of buyers and get a temperature check, and that's where that $0 marketing can be super effective, as well as going all the way and getting a great price. It does everything.
But hang on.
But you've got to do it well. You can't just say that you do it.
But the votes are in.
Yep.
The people have voted, guys.
Yep.
The people have voted. All right, and we'll finish off with this because I've been in sales for 4 years. And I'm not tooting my own trumpet, but in that period of time, I managed to get to number 1 out of 600 and something agents in that 4-year period. And that wasn't luck. The people have voted. Ask the people what they want. Ask the people what they want. All right, guys, I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Have an awesome day. See you guys.
See you guys.